Dr. Howard McCormick, a family doctor from Phillip Island in Australia. We are here in Antarctica, one of the last untouched places on the planet, to come back to basics. Survival is the name of the game, whether you're a penguin or a seal. Throughout the generations, they have learned to adapt to this hostile environment. But what if you don't have generations? What if you only have one lifetime to make or break your life? Success is about more than survival. Come with me on a journey around the world as we discover what it is that makes us a success rather than just a survivor. Our first stop is one of the world's most isolated islands, the navel of the world in the South Pacific. We can build incredible things with focus, but will they stand the test of time? We're here at Easter Island at the other end of the earth to discover how a group of people got together to define what was their definite chief aim. It was to remember their ancestors in the great stone figures called moi. The quarry was set far above the ahu or memorial platforms. The rock was composed of compressed volcanic ash. When the rough statues were carved out on the mountain, they used only stone tools. Then, using trees as rollers or lifts, the moi were transported to their final resting place. At the other end of the island, a scoria quarry was used to create pukeo, or top knots, for some of the moi. They too had to be transported over long distances. The whole system came to a grinding halt when the island ran out of trees. In this simplified ecosystem, we learn the dangers for our planet of utilising resources at an unsustainable rate. We may have great ideas on how to create a society, but if we don't learn from the past, we end up like many of the moi on Easter Island, knocked down, eaten away by time and trouble. Are we going to allow ourselves, our planet, to fall flat on its face and never get up? Or can we learn from the past that success is about more than survival? Failure. What can a glacier teach us about failure? We hear so much about how climate change is affecting us today, and there is no doubt that many of the world's glaciers are receding at an alarming rate. Yet at least one, the Perito Moreno Glacier in Patagonia, southern Argentina, is defying the trend, and the scientists are still working out why. Perito Moreno is not the fastest, or the longest, or even the highest glacier in the world, yet somehow it's able to fail its way to success. To find more about failure and how it can be turned around, I asked international speaker and web business entrepreneur Jenny Amato for her take on failure.
Failure is, again, an inherent part of existence, but it's a question of whether or not you see it as total defeat or not. To me, failure is only something that can happen if you say that's it. We're just used to making the choice of moving towards failure rather than success. But I tell you what, that's what distinguishes, and that's why they say 90% of people end up dead or dead broke in life at 65. Right? And the wealth is controlled by a small percentage. That small percentage have just chosen to walk through the door of temporary defeat instead of the door of failure, which is where the majority of people end up. Don't worry about what happens, just don't quit. Because if you don't quit, you cannot fail.
Yeah.
Okay? Because everything is just temporary.
Thank you, Jen, for reminding us that failure, like success, is about more than survival. But what if you lose virtually all your possessions? What hope is there for the future? I look for answers in the aftermath of a disaster in Australia. I've flown here from Tahiti to the devastation that occurred exactly a week ago, to my daughter and son-in-law's house in Coligny.
We were getting ready to have a day with friends at our house, and then they came in and said, "Hi guys, have you seen the fire over there?"
And within 10 minutes the sky was just full of smoke. Phones were jammed, internet was incredibly slow, so you just couldn't get any up-to-date valid information.
And so we had a minute
to
decide.
Stay or go. I hit our house at 5:50, maybe a minute or two earlier. Our neighbours left at 5:45 thinking they had tons of time, when in reality we know they had 5 minutes.
What do you think motivates people to help you out?
They just feel terrible that people were a week ago living normally in their houses while we were doing our washing that morning, and then it's just all completely gone and we're left with nothing.
But you feel good because people are so generous and helping that you can't just bring yourself to feel bad. You end up feeling really good because everyone's so friendly and nice and helpful.
It makes me feel a bit guilty, you know. People are going out and buying brand new things and then they want to give it to us. It's like they're spending their own money to help us.
And you wonder what sort of situation they're in. Maybe they actually need it as well. I think there's a thought going through people's heads that what if it happened to me? So if it happened to me, I'd want someone to give me something because I wouldn't want to have nothing.
But I think without the support it would have been much harder, and I don't know that I could sit here right now and talk to you.
When it comes to rebuilding your life after a disaster, success is about more than survival. Albert Einstein pointed out that we cannot solve our problems with the same level of thinking we used when we created them. If we as humans want to change ourselves or the planet for the better, we need a new level of thinking. You and I have a choice to do what it takes to survive these challenging times, or to see a world of opportunity and success. As we change our thinking, we can choose to learn from the past, because success is about more than survival. With a new level of thinking, we can turn present failures into the building blocks for the future. Success is about more than survival. And as we think about how to rise from the ashes into a future filled with hope and possibilities, we know without a shadow of a doubt that success is about more than survival. Planet success needs people like you and me who are willing to learn to think outside the box. So whether you want success for yourself, for the planet, or for anything in between, decide to join the growing chorus that shouts from the rooftops that success is about more than survival. If you watch the news or read the press, the climate's all screwed up and the economy's a mess. No joy on the horizon. Do we all get depressed? Or is there a way that'll work for the best? Gonna make a way that'll work for the best. Go planet, go planet. You and I can make the world work fine. Go planet, go planet. Change the world for the better, one mind at a time. Change the world for the better, one mind at a time. Einstein said there's no problem that we can solve with the same sort of thinking that made the mess evolve. So if we want a world that's better than we have now, better change our mind so we can work out how. Better change our thoughts so we can work out how. Go planet, go planet. You and I can make the world work fine. Go planet, go planet. Change the world for the better, one mind at a time. Change the world for the better, one mind at a time. We've a problem to solve with this planet that rocks. Time for action and thinking that's outside the box. Learn from past, grasp the present, set the future to wow. Right thoughts, right plans, right actions right now. Right thoughts, right plans, right actions right wow. Go planet, go planet. You and I can make the world work fine. Go planet, go planet. Change the world for the better, one mind at a time. Change the world for the better, one mind at a time. Change the world for the better, one mind